Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, family members, and those watching from home on Facebook Live, welcome to the graduation of the Army National Guard Non-Career Recruiting and Retention NCO Course 23-002. My name is Master Sergeant Robert C. Garris III of the Strength Maintenance Training Battalion, and it is my pleasure to serve as your Master of Ceremony for today's graduation. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remain standing for the entrance of the official party, national anthem, and the invocation. The official party consists of Major Malak T. White, the 2nd Strength Maintenance Training Battalion Commander. Class Advisor to 1st Platoon, Mr. Tim Hairston. Class Advisor to 2nd Platoon, Sergeant 1st Class Richard Gillum. The Class Advisor to 3rd Platoon, Sergeant 1st Class Joshua Hall. Class Advisor to 4th Platoon, Mr. Brian Kelly. The Class Advisor to 5th Platoon, Sergeant 1st Class Ryan Hazlett. Class Advisor to 6th Platoon, Mr. Shannon Sims. Class Advisor to 7th Platoon, Mr. Tim Smith. The Class Advisor to 8th Platoon, Mr. Billy Sheets. Today's invocation will be given by Sergeant 1st Class Dan Naylor of the Utah Army National Guard.
Our dear Heavenly Father, we are thankful for the opportunity we have to be here at Camp Robinson in Arkansas, and to train and develop as brothers and sisters and soldiers in this great nation. We are thankful for the opportunity to be a part of this great nation. We ask thee to please bless us as we move out back into the world and back into our respective areas, that we can do so in safety. And these things we humbly pray for and thank thee for, in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time it is my pleasure to introduce to you today's guest speaker, First Sergeant Leonard Grimes. First Sergeant Leonard Grimes hails from Memphis, Tennessee. He joined the Tennessee Army National Guard in 2007 and shipped to one-station unit training at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Upon OSIT graduation, he was assigned to the 267th Military Police Company. First Sergeant Grimes later joined the regular Army and was reassigned to the 529th Military Police Company in Heidelberg, Germany, where he served as a team leader and squad leader. After 36 months in Germany, First Sergeant Grimes was reassigned to 2nd Brigade Special Troops Battalion, 2nd Brigade Combat Team, 1st Cavalry Division, where he served as a squad leader. In 2014, he was reassigned to Headquarters and Headquarters Company, 89th Military Police Brigade, where he served as a Law and Order NCO. First Sergeant Grimes was deployed twice in support of OIF as well as OEF. First Sergeant Grimes was assigned to recruiter duty in August 2015. After graduating the ARC on the Commandant's list, he was assigned to the Houston Recruiting Battalion, where he served as the DA selected recruiter at the Missouri City Recruiting Station and station commander at the Galleria Recruiting Station in Houston, Texas. Following his assignment in the Houston Recruiting Battalion, First Sergeant Grimes was reassigned to the Kansas City Recruiting Battalion, where he served as the station commander at the St. Peter's Recruiting Station in St. Peter's, Missouri. First Sergeant Grimes currently serves as the First Sergeant of the Omaha Recruiting Company in Omaha, Nebraska. First Sergeant Grimes is a graduate of the Recruiting Company Commander and First Sergeant's course, the Company First Sergeant Pre-Command course, Battle Staff NCO course, Master Resiliency Trainer course, Mission Command Digital Master Gunner course, the Applied Suicide Intervention Trainer course, Combatives 1 and 2, Basic Leader course, Advanced Leaders course, and all subsequent leaders levels of the NCO education system. He holds a master's degree in public administration with a concentration in human resources and also holds his Society of Human Resource Managers Certified Professional Certification. His awards include the Army Commendation Medal with 8 Oak Leaf Clusters, the Army Achievement Medal with 2 Silver Oak Leaf Clusters, Army Good Conduct Medal 4th Award, the Army Reserve Component Achievement Medal, Afghanistan Campaign Medal with Campaign Star, Iraqi Campaign Medal with Campaign Star, Military Outstanding Volunteer Service Medal with 2 Service Stars, and the NATO Medal. He has also earned the Gold Recruiter Badge, Driver's Badge, and Expert Marksmanship Badge. First Sergeant Grimes is a member of the Distinguished Sergeant Audie Murphy Association. He was also recognized as the 5th Recruiting Brigade NCO of the Year in fiscal year 2017 and Station Commander of the Year in both fiscal year 19 and 20. First Sergeant Grimes' short-term goals include earning the coveted Master Recruiter Badge, completing his doctorate in education with a concentration on curriculum and instruction by 2026, and to be the USAREC First Sergeant of the Year, fiscal year 23. His primary long-term goal is to serve as the USAREC CSM and finish his life's work as a high school principal. First Sergeant Grimes is married to former Portia Yoland Hardaway. He has a 13-year-old son named Jalen.
Good morning and congratulations to you all. I wish I was there with you all today. However, the way these Nebraska winters are set up, I was not able to attend. If you've ever visited Omaha during the winter, I'm confident you know exactly what I'm dealing with. There's nothing like being a kid from the South and waking up to 8 to 10 inches of snow. It is terrifying. I love Omaha, but I hate it here, and I hope that makes sense. I'd like to thank Major White for considering me to be your speaker today. Major White, what an honor. We go way back to when I was just a knucklehead trying to find my way in this world. I had limited to no direction. I mean, I had a few role models, but Major White would probably call those negative role models. So in many ways, Major White has filled a void in my life, and I appreciate that. His presence and guidance over the years has made a profound impact on me and my family. So thank you. I'm not a man of many words, which I'm sure you all can tell because I don't look like I'm very comfortable in this speech. So when Major White asked me to speak today, I had no idea what to say. He told me to ensure that I highlighted the importance of what you all are prepared to do from this day forward. You all are the quintessential role models, the big brothers and big sisters, the counselors, the teachers, and the beacons of light. Now that you have your recruiter badge, you are charged by the enterprise to serve in a position of significant trust and authority. I'll say that again for the people in the back. You are charged to serve in a position of significant trust and authority. Webster defines trust as the reliance on the integrity, strength, and ability. It is a confident expectation of something. Sergeants, as you embark on your journey in this position, there will be frustrations as you operate in a sea of rejection. There will be challenges. These challenges range from no-shows, failed drug tests, failure to pass ASVABs, and in some cases, failure of your recruits to meet graduation requirements. The failures mentioned are inevitable. In fact, some would call it the cost of doing business. So do your absolute best to not allow these failures to shake your confidence. Instead, seek out the next opportunity to fail. I know it sounds crazy to seek out an opportunity to fail, but in this business, 9 out of 10 of your tries will result in failure, especially if you view it as a failure. I was reading an article the other day in the Omaha Herald that outlined the life and career of a soldier. The Omaha Herald publishes a mission service article monthly. They put it in the paper. And I know it's odd for today for me to read a paper, but I actually pick up the paper to read these articles. I've made it a habit to read it. In this particular article, the author wrote about a soldier that had served 20 years in the Army. He retired from the Army as a first sergeant. That sounds successful, doesn't it? At least by Army standards it is. The soldier spoke about his upbringing. I assume that due to the soldier's success in service, he came from an immensely loving family. I mean, kids that come from loving families typically have an immense level of success in their adult lives. So my assumption was he came from a great family. This was not the case for this soldier. Turns out the soldier's father had abandoned him. He attended 22 different schools and grew up in foster care. Wow. His mother suffered from a drug addiction, which landed her in prison for over 18 years. Now that's trauma when you think about it. Today, this soldier serves soldiers throughout the Army's enterprise. He has a master's degree and is currently a doctoral candidate at Liberty University. He has used the financial assistance provided by the Army to purchase 2 properties and put his wife through school. Pretty interesting, huh? This soldier is a committed husband, loving father, and a dedicated soldier. The author asked the soldier what one person has made a profound impact on his life and why. The soldier's response was, the one person that has made a profound impact on my life was my recruiter. You see, the story I just told did not come from the Omaha Herald. The story I just told is mine. A story that's not finished. A story that started with some uncertainty. However, my recruiter, then Staff Sergeant White, had a vision for me. He gave me a life plan. In fact, he said, if you listen to me and follow my guidance, you will get out of your situation forever. I trusted him, and as a result of his guidance, I'd have made it to the top 2% of the Army. And later this summer, I will find out if I'm selected to attend the United States Army Sergeant Major Academy. Sergeants, the journey that you are about to embark on matters. Yes, it will be challenging. I encourage you all to welcome the challenge. Go to your respective communities and establish trust and credibility that will yield mission accomplishment. Be the beacon of light that your recruits need every day. Give them adequate guidance and hold on to the fact that you may be the only person on God's green earth that can give them adequate guidance. Guide them with your heart and speak with conviction, because you never know how one person and one action and one person's guidance can change the course of someone's life, or in my case, the trajectory of multiple generations. Thank you to my recruiter, Major White, for changing my life. I pray that God blesses you all exceedingly and abundantly for what's in store than he ever has before. Again, congratulations and good luck.
Thank you, First Sergeant, for those inspiring words. Now we'll view a short video from family and friends of our graduating students.
Congratulations, Jordan.
Morrison. We love you.
Samantha says congratulations. She's at work. Love you.
Have a good graduation. God bless. Bye-bye.
Congratulations, Sergeant Vasquez.
Te amo, papi. Te amo, papi. Felicidades.
Hey, Robbie, congratulations on all your successes. Be blessed.
We love you. Thank you, and congratulations.
Hi, Dad. Congratulations on graduating. Love you.
Congratulations.
Sergeant First Class Welliver.
We love you, Daddy, and we're proud of you.
Baba, you're the best. See you soon. I love you. I miss you. Congratulations. Congratulations. Bye.
Congrats, JJ. Hi, Dad. I just want to say congratulations for graduating, and we all love you and miss you. All right. Good luck.
Congratulations, Emma. We love you, and we're very proud of you. Go Army.
Congratulations, Sergeant Hurley. On behalf of Pennsylvania Army National Guard, RRB, Charlie Company Team Scranton, welcome to the team, brother. Good work.
Congrats, JJ.
Congrats, JJ.
Congratulations to SQI4 Class 23-002. I'm excited to see what you can do. You are the future of recruiting and retention battalions across the United States. Let's get after it.
Just want to congratulate Staff Sergeant Alaman on your graduation of SQI4 School. Boo, you did it. Super proud of you. Love you. Miss you. Get your sexy self back home. Ahora. Get that 1059, get on the plane. Let's go.
Congrats, buddy.
Congratulations, Sarah. We're proud of you. Love you. Can't wait to see you.
Hi, Sarah.
Congrats. We love you, honey. We're so proud of you, and we can't wait till you come home. Bye.
We love you, Staff Sergeant Angstrom.
Congratulations. I love you, Daddy. I love you, Daddy.
Sergeant Krosniak, Sergeant Talabine, congratulations, my boys. Now let's get back here, get back to Ohio, get to work, put them in boots.
Congratulations, Sergeant Logan.
Congratulations, Staff Sergeant Agonies. Congratulations, Dad. We love you.
Good morning, everybody. Congratulations on your graduation today, especially Sergeant Vasquez Henry from the Puerto Rico National Guard. We are very proud of you and proud of your accomplishments. Keep it up.
Congrats, Jordan Morrison.
I just want to say congratulations to my amazing, beautiful wife, Sergeant Glenn, on achieving your goals. I'm so proud of you. I love you.
Congratulations from the New York State Honey Badger Battalion.
Staff Sergeant Condit.
Staff Sergeant Wells.
Staff Sergeant McCullough and Staff Sergeant Gadsden.
Congratulations. Travel safe. Come home soon.
Yeah, congratulations. We love you.
Hey, Bubba. Congratulations. We are very, very proud of you.
Good job.
Love you.
Love you.
Congratulations, Sergeant Baker. We love you.
Congratulations, Sergeant Beachboard. Wanted to let you know I'm so proud of you and I love you. You're still my favorite son-in-law.
Congratulations, Daddy. We love you. Can't wait to see you.
Congratulations, Sergeant Abelhausen. I love you so much and I'm so proud of you.
Congratulations, baby girl. I knew you could do it. Keep on keeping on. Congrats.
Congratulations, Brent. We love you and we're really proud of you.
Yeah, Daddy!
Wait, he left already? Cheers!
Hello from Strikersville, New York. We're so proud of you, Ian, and the group down there completing your work.
Congratulations.
Good luck going forward.
Hey, Ma, I just want to say that I'm proud of you for everything you have done and all your training, and good luck on your recruiting.
Nephew, proud of you, man. Following in my footsteps.
Congratulations, Papi.
Congratulations, Dawson Logan.
Congratulations, Sergeant Beachboard. Hey, babe, we just wanted to say that we're so proud of you and we can't wait to have you home. Love you. Bye.
Huge shout out to my husband, Sergeant Jonathan Knight. Babe, you've done it. I'm so proud of you. You've worked hard, you've believed, you've challenged yourself, and this is your reward. Happy graduation. I love you. Come home.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Staff Sergeant Hector Orozco, Battalion Master Trainer for the Puerto Rico Army National Guard. I am here at the PR Guard Studio sending special shoutout to Sergeant Kendrick Vasquez, Sergeant Jose Gariel Soto, and Sergeant Noel Lopez. 3 in, 3 out. Congratulations, you all made it. Hard work pays off. See you back home. Get ready to put people on boots.
Congratulations, Emma! Go Mars!
At this time, each class advisor will address their platoon for the last time. The awarding of the diplomas will follow. Please hold your applause until all students have received their diplomas. The class advisor for 1st Platoon is Mr. Tim Hairston.
First Platoon, you never cease to surprise me. Alamon. What is up? I had one student that didn't say a word for 5 weeks. Turns out he's a stand-up comedian from the class party the other night. Okay, so what I want to do is issue you an invisible digital challenge coin. On the one side of the coin, it says, "This is great. This is awesome. I can't believe I get paid to do this job." And the other side of the coin says, "This sucks." You've already experienced some of that. We've challenged you in the last 5 weeks. You've had some days where you probably went back to your room and said, "This sucks." But you also showed us that you can be great. There are things that will happen in your recruiting and retention career that you can't avoid, that you can't do anything about. You still have to take ownership of it. And it'd be up to you and your resiliency to turn that coin over and say, "This is still great. This is still good, and I can't believe I get paid to do this job." So I challenge you to carry that coin in your pocket, and no matter which side it flips on that day, take pride in what you do to impact other people's lives, and always remember, this is great. 1st Platoon, prepare to graduate.
Sergeant Chandler Abelhausen. Sergeant Almonte Abney. Sergeant Yasir Abusaba. Sergeant Diego Acosta. Sergeant Caleb Adkins. Staff Sergeant Edgar Agonius Jr. Staff Sergeant Jessica Anderson. Sergeant Austin Baker. Specialist Trevion Barnett. Staff Sergeant Robert Barr. Sergeant Ileana Barch. Sergeant Brenton Beachboard. Staff Sergeant Kevin Blanton. Sergeant Nathaniel Brewer. Sergeant Briar Brickhouse. Sergeant Jeremy Brown. Staff Sergeant Timothy Brown. Staff Sergeant Mark Brule. Specialist Callie Brunk. Staff Sergeant Rachel Yaw. The platoon sergeant for 1st Platoon, Staff Sergeant Johnny Alleman. Staff Sergeant Alleman will also receive a certificate of excellence for his dedicated work as platoon sergeant for 1st Platoon. The class advisor for 2nd Platoon is Sergeant First Class Richard Gillum.
Good morning, 2nd Platoon, and the rest of 23002. I was laying in bed last night thinking about, all right, who's going to be the last one to sign these 1059s? I was up waiting. I'm not going to name names, but they know who they are. As I was laying there, I was sitting there thinking, what is next? And how do we do this job? I had an instructor back in 2017 explain how this works. If you imagine you're at a circus, right, and you see the guy spinning plates, and there's a certain student here that might have heard this analogy before, but you're spinning plates, right? They put the plates on a stick and they start spinning the plates, and then they add another one, and then another one, and then another one. That is what we're doing in this job. You can't do one thing at a time. You have to be juggling multiple things to be able to get through the day and get to the end of the finish line. That's what we have to do, and that's what you guys have done while you're here. So I'm proud of what you've done, and I look forward to seeing your accomplishments in the future. With that, you guys ready to graduate? Second platoon, prepare to graduate.
Sergeant Danielle Buck. Staff Sergeant Leonard Bundy. Sergeant James Butler. Staff Sergeant Brittany Bird. Staff Sergeant Justin Callis. Sergeant Sean Carson. Sergeant Garrett Cassidy. Staff Sergeant John Castor. Sergeant Diogenes Serta. Staff Sergeant Melissa Chermerly. Sergeant Ryan Clark. Staff Sergeant Jack Condit. Staff Sergeant Kevin Connor. Staff Sergeant Roel Cordero. Sergeant Keegan Crooks. Staff Sergeant Rachel Cruz. Staff Sergeant Christopher Dale. Staff Sergeant Justin Daly. Staff Sergeant Logan Dent. Sergeant Graciela Salas. Sergeant Connor Chase. The platoon sergeant for 2nd Platoon, Sergeant Christopher Krosniak. Sergeant Krosniak will also receive a certificate of excellence for his dedicated work as platoon sergeant for 2nd Platoon. The class advisor for 3rd Platoon, Sergeant First Class Joshua Hall.
Morning, 3rd Platoon. There we go. All right. First off, I would like to thank my assistant instructor, Mr. Smith. Without him there keeping me on track, sometimes tying me down, telling me to calm down, we wouldn't be here. So I'd like to thank him. 3rd Platoon, 5 weeks ago you showed up. You learned very quickly you'd be drinking from a fire hose. Some of you even had doors hit you in the face on day 1. But here we are now. You're graduating, you took the material, you now have a scientific method to succeed, okay? We told you it's a science. But if you follow regulatory guidance, that formula, and apply a little bit of self-reflection and accountability that we talk about every day, you should be successful. All right, if not, Just go back to that formula and try, and then try again. Juggle plates, look at the coin in your pocket, do whatever you gotta do. That's crazy, right? All right, maybe buy that for $1. But sergeants, I'll leave you with this, and this is for the rest of 23002. Remember I told you, a good recruiter doesn't make a great NCO, but a great NCO can be a good recruiter. We could talk about that all day, but let's get down to why we're really here.
Fourth platoon, prepare to graduate.
Sergeant Rabab Dakisi. Sergeant Daniel Dudley. Sergeant William Edwards. Sergeant Richie Love Emanuel. Sergeant Jarvon English. Staff Sergeant Nathan Engstrom. Specialist Cole Feipel. Staff Sergeant Justin Fellows. Sergeant First Class Caleb Fifield. Sergeant Russell Finkelstein. Specialist Antonio Francis. Sergeant Gerardo Fuentes. Staff Sergeant Robert Gadsden. Staff Sergeant Colin Gagne. Staff Sergeant David Garsha. Sergeant Ryan Gartner. Sergeant Ian George. Sergeant Bobby Ginn. Specialist Daisy Gonzalez. Sergeant Zachary Gordon. Specialist Jeffrey Green. Staff Sergeant Amanda Kramer. The platoon sergeant for 3rd Platoon, Staff Sergeant Albert Dozier. Staff Sergeant Dozier will also receive a certificate of excellence for his dedicated work as platoon sergeant for 3rd Platoon. The class advisor for 4th Platoon, Mr. Brian Kelly.
Congratulations, 4th Platoon. First off, I want to thank my assistants, Master Sergeant Wilson, especially Mr. Parker, for all the wisdom, knowledge they put into this course. I was thinking about some last gift I could give you guys before you left, and considering how much you guys loved rubrics, I decided to replace all y'all's 1059s with rubrics. So, you're welcome. Now, seriously, though, this job's about resiliency. You hear it over and over. So being resilient is defined as the capacity to withstand or recover quickly from difficulties, basically being tough. So over the course of the last 5 weeks, I've watched y'all push through, whether it was a PT retest, seeing RZ for the first time to build a packet, computing dates. The biggest one, surviving the GuardX rooms. So with that said, just continue to do what you've done for the last 5 weeks, and I got full confidence that you guys are going to do great things.
platoon, prepare to graduate.
Sergeant Bailey Bergren. Staff Sergeant Travis Griffith. Sergeant Terrence Hall. Sergeant Christopher Hansen. Specialist Alexander Hardy. Sergeant Joseph Harris. Sergeant Jordan Harris. Specialist Tyler Hayes. Sergeant Jose Hernandez. Staff Sergeant Alex Hukama. Sergeant Jaleisha Holly. Sergeant Christian Holmes. Sergeant Austin Howard. Sergeant Colton Hurley. Staff Sergeant Devin Johnson. Staff Sergeant Jaron Jolly. Staff Sergeant Jaron Jones. Staff Sergeant Cody Kelly. The Platoon Sergeant for 4th Platoon, Sergeant First Class Christopher Holcomb. Sergeant First Class Holcomb will also receive a Certificate of Excellence for his dedicated work as Platoon Sergeant for 4th Platoon. The Class Advisor for 5th Platoon, Sergeant First Class Ryan Hazlett.
We made it, 5th. 23 started, 22 graduated. I must first start, because I will often forget, to thank my fellow instructor, Mr. Carter. Without Mr. Carter's assistance throughout this 5 weeks, we would not have made it. With that, you guys made it. You are graduating today. You are leaving here to be operational. You have a 3-tenet mission. You are not just a recruiter. You are not just a retention NCO. You are not just an attrition NCO or attrition management NCO. You are all 3 in 1. And I wish you success in all 3 of those assignments, in all 3 of those missions. They are important, and I hope that you go back and you play an active role in each of those. It is critical that you find success as an RNCO. It is critical for the force. It is critical for the development of our force, our readiness. You hear this all the time. It is important. It is an incredibly difficult task. You are charged with that task. But I am confident. I am confident that all of you graduating today, but especially 5th Platoon, that you guys will go out there and absolutely kill it. You guys came here as phenomenal NCOs, and I cannot always say that. I am fortunate that I have 23 outstanding NCOs. Even though 22 graduating today, all 23 were phenomenal NCOs. Do not forget where you came from. Do not forget that you are a non-commissioned officer. You will be professional at all times. You will conduct yourself at all times in that manner. If you are always an NCO, you will be successful as an RNCO. And with that, I leave you one last bit. Sergeant Lopez, swing your arms. 5th Platoon, prepare to graduate.
Staff Sergeant Victor Kimmerlin. Staff Sergeant Ernell Kirkland III. Sergeant Jonathan Knight. Sergeant Christian Longclow. Sergeant First Class Chadwick Larder. Sergeant Juan Ledesma. Sergeant Joseph Lewis. Sergeant Carl Long. Staff Sergeant Nicholas Long. Sergeant Ruben Lopez. Sergeant Noel Lopez Quinones. Sergeant Jacqueline Lozano. Staff Sergeant Joseph Lyerla. Staff Sergeant Nathan McDonald. Sergeant Landon Magee. Staff Sergeant James Mash. Sergeant Jody Martin. Staff Sergeant Cody Mauk. Staff Sergeant Vincent McCollum. Sergeant Chance McEstis. The Platoon Sergeant for 5th Platoon, Staff Sergeant Ryan Madrid. Staff Sergeant Madrid will also receive a Certificate of Excellence for his dedicated work as Platoon Sergeant for 5th Platoon. The Class Advisor for 6th Platoon, Mr. Shannon Sims.
Good morning, 6th Platoon. Right, here we go. We made it. First, I want to get a big thank you, a big shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Burks, Christopher Burks. We appreciate your work, your hard work, the value that you brought to the classroom. It's impeccable. We thank you so much for that. So 6th Platoon has been an amazing journey, to say the least. This course has been a baseline for you to build on when you get out to your areas. We've had a lot of laughs, a lot of cries, some challenging days. But as a platoon, you guys have proven that constant hard work sets you up where you can accomplish just about anything, any task, any challenge you are faced with. As a platoon, we have really experienced some great times. We talked about a lot of different things, but I want to leave you with these last 3 words. So in the classroom, we often talk about perception and attitude. Perception is how you see it. Attitude is how you handle it. But the last word we really didn't talk about, but it's perfect for today. It's altitude. Altitude is the level of success that you can achieve. With that being said, we have perception, we have attitude, and we have altitude. 6th Platoon, I want you to soar high. Soar high every day. Soar high every day, all week long, and twice on Sunday. That's what I'm talking about. Platoon, prepare to graduate.
Sergeant Taylor McGee. Staff Sergeant Justin Meekum. Sergeant Jordan Medina. Sergeant Raul Mendoza. Staff Sergeant Corey Moore. Sergeant Jared Morales. Specialist Jordan Morrison. Staff Sergeant Sarah Masso. Staff Sergeant Jose Navarro. Sergeant First Class Dan Naylor. Sergeant Andrew Noland. Sergeant Sean Noonan. Staff Sergeant Douglas O'Reilly. Staff Sergeant Eva Ortiz. Sergeant Mark Padilla. Staff Sergeant Rashette Palmer. Sergeant Sylvia Parasolis. Sergeant Dylan Patty. Sergeant Rochelle Perez. Sergeant Donald Perry. Specialist Mitchell Porter. Staff Sergeant Corey Putt. The platoon sergeant for 6th Platoon, Staff Sergeant Warwick Nichols. Staff Sergeant Nichols will also receive a certificate of excellence for his dedicated work as platoon sergeant for 6th Platoon. The class advisor for 7th Platoon, Mr. Tim Smith.
Good morning, 7th. Before I get started, I have to look over here and thank my counterpart, Mr. Brandon Arnold, because the relationship that we had going into this cycle made everything transition so smoothly. So now getting to you, 7th Platoon. Mr. Arnold and I have given you everything over the last 5 weeks, so this is going to be real short and sweet. I'm going to talk about what Mr. Sims talked about. This will carry you further than anything else. You have gotten the institutional knowledge, but your attitude is what's going to carry you the rest of the way. Why do I say that? That attitude, when those days happen that are not the greatest days, you don't want to be there, you don't want to be a part of this line of work that we're in because it's not going your way. Your attitude is what's going to carry you the rest of that way. And what I mean by that, if you have a can-do attitude with a will-do mindset, that's going to carry you through those bad days. 7th Platoon, I wish you the best of luck.
Prepare to graduate.
Sergeant Lakeisha Glenn. Staff Sergeant Gabriel Rivera. Sergeant Thomas Rue. Sergeant Ever Sandoval. Sergeant Anthony Santos. Staff Sergeant Jordan Saunders. Sergeant First Class Joseph Shetler. Specialist Kiara Serrano. Specialist John Shocker. Sergeant Daniela Smith. Sergeant Jose Gabriel Soto. Sergeant Michaela Spivey. Sergeant Jacob Stafiri. Staff Sergeant Kyle Stevens. Staff Sergeant Julian Subran. Specialist Caitlin Suntheimer. Sergeant Jury Talabdeen. Sergeant Matthew Tankersley. Sergeant Dylan Tevenall. The platoon sergeant for 7th Platoon, Sergeant First Class Ryan Tanoy. Sergeant First Class Tanoy will also receive a certificate of excellence for his dedicated work as platoon sergeant for 7th Platoon. The class advisor for 8th Platoon, Mr. Billy Sheets.
Eighth Platoon, the Ocho. First off, thank you, Mr. Winters, my partner in crime during the cycle. Without him, I couldn't have done anything that we did today, and I know that we all got something from this experience, and I really appreciate him a lot. Also, before we get going, thank you, leaders, family members, instructors. Thank the SMTB staff. Without all the support, we couldn't be here doing what we're doing. So, before I get into my platoon, thank you, instructors, for stealing every bit of my comments. Every bit. So, let's see if we can't make something up. Family members. Family members of these are our NCOs. They're going to need your support and help. This is going to be one of the most difficult jobs that they've ever done. NCOs, you have to communicate with your family. You have to let them know what the expectation should be, whether or not you're going to be showing up late, early, whatever it is. You have to communicate with them. And I know that they're going to need your support, family. Be prepared for it. Leadership, leaders, hold these NCOs to a standard. You'll be surprised what people will do when you hold them to a standard. Let them know what that standard is. Give them something that's teachable, coachable, and repeatable, and watch them succeed. Class 23002. Since they stole everything that I was going to say, and you should listen to everything they said, I'll leave you with this. Be humble. Go in this job and be humble. You have the distinct privilege and honor of training your replacement. Not only training, but finding your replacement. So go find them and train them. We are in the one organization where we train our replacements. Your career is very finite. Make it better than what you found it. And you all have the distinct task of going and finding those replacements. So when you get them, teach them, coach them, train them up to replace you and take your job. Just like we heard from the first sergeant guest speaker, right? So with that being said, congratulations to all you. That's me walking the dog. Last time, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. And go away, you.
Eighth platoon, prepare to graduate.
Sergeant Joseph Theed. Staff Sergeant Corey Thomas. Staff Sergeant Clinton Thompson. Staff Sergeant Tony Tracy. Staff Sergeant Jonathan Van Arsdale. Specialist Cody Vantoff. Sergeant Kendrick Vasquez. Sergeant Joel Viola. Staff Sergeant Jaron Walker. Staff Sergeant Stephen Walker. Sergeant First Class Hans Welliver. Staff Sergeant Roberto Wells. Staff Sergeant Logan White. Sergeant Emma White. Specialist Jared Wiggins Lee. Sergeant Adriana Willie. Specialist Adriana Williams. Sergeant Brent Wright. Sergeant Nathan Zamora. Staff Sergeant Richard Zilski. The platoon sergeant for 8th Platoon, Staff Sergeant Michael Thibodeau. Staff Sergeant Thibodeau will also receive a certificate of excellence for his dedicated work as platoon sergeant for 8th Platoon. At this time, the battalion commander for the Strength Maintenance Training Battalion, Major White, will recognize the Iron Soldier Award. During the first week of the course, soldiers took the Army Combat Fitness Test. The Iron Soldier Award is awarded to the soldier with the highest score on the Army Combat Fitness Test. The Iron Soldier Award for the Army National Guard Non-Career Recruiting or Retention NCO Course 23-002 is Staff Sergeant Nicholas Long of the South Carolina Army National Guard with a score of 592 out of a possible 600 points. At this time, the battalion commander for the Strength Maintenance Training Battalion, Major White, will recognize the Leadership Award for celebrating excellence. Throughout the 5 weeks of this course, 5 soldiers were tested on their ability to perform duties as the Student First Sergeant. The Celebrating Excellence Award is presented to the Student First Sergeant who performed their duties with excellence. The Leadership Award for Celebrating Excellence for the Army National Guard Non-Career Recruiting or Retention NCO Course 23-002 is Staff Sergeant Rachel Yaw, Texas Army National Guard. At this time, the battalion commander for the Strength Maintenance Training Battalion, Major White, will recognize the Academic Achievement Award. The Academic Achievement Award is awarded to the soldier with the highest cumulative academic grade point average in the class. The Academic Achievement Award for the Army National Guard Non-Career Recruiting and Retention NCO Course 23-002 is Sergeant Jacqueline Lozano of the Illinois Army National Guard. At this time, the battalion commander for the Strength Maintenance Training Battalion, Major White, will recognize the Distinguished Honor Graduate. The Distinguished Honor Graduate is awarded to the soldier with the highest cumulative academic grade point average combined with the highest Army Combat Fitness Test score in the class. The Distinguished Honor Graduate for the Army National Guard Non-Career Recruiting and Retention NCO Course, Class 23-002 is Sergeant First Class Christopher Holcomb of the Utah Army National Guard. Our First Class Holcomb will also be recognized by being presented his basic badge award set by the battalion commander. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have one more round of applause for your newest Army National Guard R&R NCOs. Ladies and gentlemen, these soldiers have spent countless hours over the past 5 weeks learning the skills and knowledge necessary to earn the Army National Guard Basic Recruiting and Retention Badge. Introduced in the mid-1970s, the Army National Guard Recruiting and Retention Badge is the only special skills badge that has been established solely for the Army National Guard. Very appropriate since the MOS 79 Tango Recruiting and Retention NCO is only for National Guard members. The design of the Army National Guard Recruiting and Retention Badge underwent a significant revision in 2007 after the director of the Army National Guard requested a badge featuring symbolism and heraldic features that more accurately reflected the Army National Guard recruiting and retention mission. The current design was approved on May 12, 2008. These soldiers have dedicated themselves and time to not only earn the Army National Guard Basic Recruiting and Retention Badge, but to serve as the newest recruiting and retention NCOs across the nation. We will now conduct the pinning ceremony. You will have 5 minutes to conduct the pinning. Absolutely.
See that you know who's going to go.
Oh, I got you. All right. I'll tell you the key thing. The difference between wearers and bears, right? The difference? Wearers follow us. Bears follow us.
Right in the middle of the back pocket.
You expect big things out of yourself. I expect big things from you. Same minute. Combine that know-how, will do. Guys with I have no doubt.
Sims, get Gillen back up here. Ladies and gentlemen, please return to your seats at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remain standing for the benediction and exit of the official party. Today's benediction will be given by Sergeant Nathaniel Brewer of the Missouri Army National Guard.
Let's bow our heads.
Our God in heaven, we thank you for your presence with us during this graduation ceremony. I thank you for each graduate and ask that you will not only bless them, but give them strength, courage, and wisdom for the assignments they will now enter into. Keep each of them safe, both in and out of harm's way, and remind them and us as we wear this uniform, that we defend and represent the freedom that has been won for us by past generations of men and women in uniform. Go with us now, keeping us ever aware of your presence and your love for us. In your name I pray. Amen.
Class 23-002,